There are places, forgotten by time. Places where the past clings to the present. RavenStone Military Academy, once a beacon of order, now a husk of stone and shadow. The wind whispers through shattered windows, carrying the weight of forgotten stories. Stories of ambition and despair. Stories etched in these crumbling walls. But the stories, they refuse to die. They linger in the air, heavy and cold, waiting for someone to listen. The once grand gates now rust, overgrown with ivy. Nature, relentless and patient, reclaims what man has abandoned. Trees claw at the rooftops, their roots burrowing deep into the foundation. The parade ground, once a place of rigid drills and barked commands, lies cracked and forgotten. Weeds push through the pavement, a testament to time's passage. Silence. It hangs heavy over RavenStone. A silence broken only by the creak of rotting wood and the rustling of unseen creatures. A silence that speaks volumes. It whispers of secrets buried deep, secrets that refuse to stay buried. For RavenStone is not truly silent, not anymore. There are whispers of another presence, a chill that has nothing to do with the wind. They say the cadets never truly left, that their spirits remain, trapped within these decaying walls. Footsteps echo in the dead of night, unseen voices murmur in the darkness, and in the shadows, something watches, waits. This is their story. The story of RavenStone Military Academy. RavenStone Military Academy. Founded in 1887, a time when empires were built on discipline and the clang of the Industrial Revolution echoed across the land. It was a monument to ambition, a place where boys would be molded into men of steel. Its founder, Colonel Victor Holloway, was a veteran of countless campaigns, his heart hardened by the crucible of war. He envisioned RavenStone as a forge, a place to temper the young into soldiers, leaders, unbreakable instruments of their nation's will. And so they came, sons of privilege and ambition, eager to prove themselves worthy of the RavenStone legacy. Little did they know the true cost of admission. Section 2. The Iron Hand of Discipline. Within RavenStone's imposing walls, Colonel Holloway ruled with an iron fist. Discipline was absolute, obedience unquestioned. Weakness, he believed, was a disease and RavenStone its cure. Days were filled with grueling drills, endless formations, and the ever-present pressure to excel. Every aspect of their lives, from dawn till dusk, was governed by an intricate web of rules and regulations. But whispers began to circulate, whispers of punishments that went beyond mere discipline, of hazing rituals that tested the limits of human endurance. Whispers of boys pushed too far, their spirits broken beneath the weight of Holloway's unyielding expectations. Section 3. Whispers in the Corridors. As the years passed, the stories grew darker. Cadets would vanish without a trace, their absences explained away as transfers or disciplinary dismissals. But in the dormitories, under the cover of darkness, a different truth was shared in hushed tones. There were tales of strange occurrences, phantom footsteps echoing in the empty corridors, disembodied voices whispering from the walls. Some even claimed to have seen shadowy figures lurking at the edge of their vision, figures that vanished when approached. The staff dismissed these stories as childish fantasies, the product of overactive imaginations and the pressures of academy life. But the whispers persisted, fueled by fear and the unsettling truth that some secrets refuse to stay buried. Section 4. The Night the Flames Danced. Then came the winter of 1953, a night that would forever stain the legacy of RavenStone Military Academy. A fire, sudden and swift, erupted in the East Wing, engulfing the dormitory in a raging inferno. Panic ensued as cadets, trapped in their rooms, screamed for help. Many managed to escape, but others weren't so lucky. The fire raged for hours, consuming everything in its path. When the smoke finally cleared and the ashes settled, a horrifying truth emerged. Not all the missing cadets had perished in the flames. Some were simply gone, vanished without a trace. And as the years turned into decades, the mystery of their disappearance only deepened, adding a chilling new chapter to the haunting legend of RavenStone Military Academy. They say that on certain nights when the moon hangs low and a shroud of fog blankets RavenStone, you can hear them, the phantom cadets, forever marching. Locals whisper of the rhythmic thud of boots on pavement, a steady beat that echoes through the empty courtyard. A ghostly procession marching in formation, their presence felt but never seen. Some dismiss it as the wind playing tricks, their imagination running wild. But others, those who have heard the relentless beat of the ghostly march, know that something lingers within RavenStone's walls, a presence bound by duty even in death, condemned to repeat their drills for all eternity. Colonel Victor Holloway, the iron-willed founder of RavenStone, cast a long shadow, even in life. They say his spirit, tethered to the place where he wielded absolute authority, continues to linger. Some believe that he can still be found here, in his office, forever frozen in time. A specter in a dust-covered uniform, his presence marked by a sudden chill and the faint scent of pipe tobacco. Legend claims that if you dare to whisper his name 3 times, the colonel will turn, his eyes burning with ghostly fire. What becomes of those who meet his gaze, however, remains a chilling mystery. Of all the haunted corners of RavenStone, none are as feared as room 313. It is here, they say, that a young cadet, driven to despair by the relentless pressure and brutal hazing, took his own life. The room has remained sealed for decades, untouched and undisturbed. Yet even now, strange lights flicker beneath the door, casting dancing shadows on the opposite wall. And those who dare to press their ears against the cold wood whisper of another sound, a faint, heart-wrenching sobbing that seems to emanate from the very walls themselves. The cries of a tormented soul, forever trapped within those 4 walls, a chilling reminder of the darkness that pervades RavenStone. But the stories don't end there. RavenStone is a tapestry of terror, woven from countless threads of fear and suffering. Visitors speak of disembodied voices whispering their names, cold spots that cling to them like icy fingers, and the feeling of being constantly watched by unseen eyes. Unexplained noises, sudden gusts of wind, and objects moving on their own are all part of the daily occurrences within RavenStone's walls. Echoes of the torment inflicted and endured, now etched into the very fabric of the building. For RavenStone doesn't just hold the ghosts of those who died within its walls, it holds the ghosts of their pain, their fear, their despair, and those ghosts, it seems, are all too eager to make their presence known. Drawn by the whispers, the stories, a team of paranormal investigators has come to RavenStone. Armed with cameras, sensors, and a healthy dose of skepticism, they aim to document the truth behind the legends. They are led by Dr. Emily Carter, a seasoned paranormal researcher known for her methodical approach and unwavering calm. Joining her are Ben Harris, a tech specialist with a knack for coaxing signals from the ether, and Sarah Walker, a psychic medium who claims to sense the presence of the unseen. Tonight, they will attempt to pierce the veil of RavenStone's haunted history, to capture evidence of the spirits said to roam these halls. But the spirits of RavenStone, they will soon learn, are not easily swayed by gadgets and scientific curiosity. The night wears on and the team settles into their investigation. Sensors register intermittent cold spots and the air grows heavy with anticipation. Then, a breakthrough. Ben's headphones crackle to life.
Did you hear that?
Ben says, his voice a hushed whisper.
There's something on the EVP.
He rewinds the recording, playing it back. A voice, faint and distorted but undeniably present, emanates from the speakers.
Get out!
It seems to say, a chilling plea lost in the static. Sarah shivers, drawing her jacket tighter around her.
There's something here, she whispers, her eyes wide with apprehension. Something angry.
Their investigation leads them to room 313, the epicenter of RavenStone's tragic past. As they approach the sealed door, a wave of cold washes over them, raising goosebumps on their arms.
I can feel it. There's a presence here. It's strong, filled with sadness and anger.
The door to room 313, its surface cold and damp to the touch. A single word is scratched into the wood, barely visible beneath years of grime. Help.
Whatever's in there, it wants to be heard.
Using a specialized camera rig, the team manages to peer into room 313 without breaching the threshold. The room is eerily still, untouched by time, and yet, the air crackles with an unseen energy. Suddenly, the chair begins to rock back and forth as if pushed by an invisible hand. The movement is slight at first, then grows more frantic, the chair creaking ominously under the unseen force.
Something's interfering with the signal. I've never seen anything like it.
The team decides to call it a night, shaken but determined to return another time. As they pack up their equipment, Sarah cries out, clutching her arm in pain.
What happened?
3 long red scratches mar Sarah's skin, as if made by sharp claws. The scratches are too deep to have been accidental.
I don't know, I felt something cold, like icy fingers digging into my skin.
Dr. Carter examines the marks, her expression grave. The scratches are deep, too deep to have been caused by anything in the room, and they weren't there before. The spirits of RavenStone, it seems, are not content to merely haunt the shadows. They are reaching out, making their presence known in the most unsettling of ways. Back in the main hall, the team huddles around Ben's laptop, reviewing the night's footage. The air crackles with nervous energy. Sarah nurses a bandaged arm, her face pale in the laptop's glow.
What is that?
Ben whispers, pointing to a shadowy figure at the edge of the screen. The figure is tall and slender, its form barely discernible in the darkness. It appears to be wearing some sort of uniform, its posture rigid, almost military in its bearing.
Zoom in.
Dr. Carter leans closer, her eyes scanning the screen, her voice barely a murmur. Ben manipulates the image, enhancing the contrast. The figure sharpens, resolving into the unmistakable silhouette of a young man in an old-fashioned military cadet uniform. His face remains hidden in shadow, but his posture is unmistakable. Ramrod straight, arms stiffly at his sides. He stands at attention as if awaiting inspection.
What's happening?
And then, as if sensing their gaze, the figure turns its head. Static erupts from the laptop speakers, a high-pitched whine that makes Sarah cry out. The image on the screen distorts, the figure dissolving into a mess of pixels and static.
What's happening?
Sarah stammers, her eyes darting from the screen to the dark hallway beyond. The laptop screen goes black. Silence descends, heavier than before, broken only by their ragged breathing. Fear, thick and suffocating, fills the room.
We need to leave. Now.
Dr. Carter, her composure finally broken, slams the laptop shut. We need to leave, she says, her voice tight with urgency. Now. No one argues. They gather their equipment, their movements clumsy with fear. The air feels different now, charged with an unseen energy. The silence filled with whispers they can't quite decipher. They flee RavenStone, leaving behind the mysteries they came to unravel. As they drive, the events of the night replay in their minds. The whispers in the static, the icy touch, the figure standing at attention in the darkness. They came seeking answers, but they leave with more questions than before. For they have seen the truth in the shadows, felt the despair that clings to RavenStone's walls. The cadets, trapped in their eternal torment, forgotten but not gone. They are still there. Waiting. The sun sets on RavenStone Military Academy, casting long shadows that stretch out like grasping claws. Silence reigns, broken only by the whisper of the wind through the decaying buildings. But the silence is deceptive. It hums with a current of something unseen, something ancient and unyielding. The stories linger, passed down through generations, whispered in hushed tones around campfires. Tales of ghostly cadets marching in formation, their boots striking the pavement with an eerie cadence. Tales of the chilling laughter of unseen children echoing through the empty halls. tales of a darkness that seeps into your bones, a feeling of being watched, of being followed. Are the stories true? Are the halls of RavenStone truly haunted by the spirits of those who never left? Or are they merely reflections of our own fears, amplified by the weight of history and the unsettling beauty of decay? Perhaps the answer lies somewhere in between, in that liminal space where reality blurs with the shadows and the past refuses to die. One thing remains certain: RavenStone Military Academy stands as a chilling reminder that some places hold on to their secrets, their sorrows, their ghosts. And sometimes if you listen closely enough, you might just hear them whisper, "Fade to black."